Hey Natalie, is that you? Hi, how are you? Okay, so did you got a mind read or did you get the love reading? It doesn't show me on that. Which one did you get? The mind read or the, you know what? I have to get my other deck. I'll check. Give me 1 second. Let me get my other deck. Okay, here we go. I got it. Oh boy. Weird morning. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. All right, so this is the love reading. This is fits any kind of relationship. So if it's like a crush or, you know, whatever it is. Okay, so we're gonna start. There's two options. Option number one is I start to lay out the tarot. And whatever information comes up about your relationship, we will address it. But then we won't have enough time to go back and address an area that you want. We have to go with whatever comes up. So if it's whatever energy and whatever information is stronger, wherever it's pulling, and you don't have to give any information, we just see where it goes. The other option is we put it where you want, in which case you would have to tell me exactly the area of clarity that you want. So for example, so and so with this situation, or I want to know about, you know, this person and what's going to happen on, I don't know, next month on the 12th. So you can either tell me exactly where you want me to go, or we just go and it is what it is, but then we can't go back and add extra things. So it's one direction because these are timed. Okay, 1 second. One second, I just have to bring this up here. Okay. So which one did you want, sweetheart? Which way are we going? Okay, go ahead. You let me know. You don't have to tell me like the details if you don't want to, but just, you know, because I'll find it, but just tell me where you want me to go. Natalie, are you able to type, or is there something? Hey guys, how are you? Thank you so much, Mr. Dabil. I'm in the middle of a paid reading, so I'm sorry if I don't focus. Thank you so much. Oh, no worries, no worries. So what do you want? So you said you wanted the second option. The first one is you don't tell me anything and we just see where it goes, and that takes up the reading, and we're going to go in that direction. The other option is you tell me where you want clarity. Don't tell me the story, I'll find that myself, but like, at least if you want me to hone in on a specific something, you got to let me know so I open the reading that way, or I'll just open it with your love situation. Okay, no worries. Okay, so you want to know what this relationship with Angel is about, meaning you and Angel, or am I looking into something that Angel's starting with someone else, or did you want me to look and see what that is on my own? I got you. Okay. Yeah, clear enough. All right. Excuse me. The problem is there's two men here. I get what you're asking about Angel, but there's two men here. So let me explain. Let me explain to you something that might make a little bit of sense to you. Hopefully it does. When I am doing an energy check on a person and their love life, if a person has a connection where they were with someone physically as a fling, and maybe it didn't work out a month ago, and then they entered a little bit of a situationship with somebody, and then they pulled strings on that, and and the timeline was short, or maybe they went on a few dates that escalated in beyond the date. Maybe there's a little bit of feelings. Maybe you were talking to a couple of people, or maybe there was something that didn't work out with somebody, but they're still invested in you even though you broke it off. Those are still energies that surround you because people are thinking about you. That means someone is manifesting you, or someone is bitter, or someone is jealous. When a person, well, how do you think evil eye works? How do you think an essence of someone can stay in an object? Like when somebody hires me to, they give me an object in my hand and I'm supposed to tell them the story. People work more than objects. Imagine if an object can hold an energy, imagine a body, a person. So women can have residual energy from lovers. If there's anyone that in your life, anyway, the reason I'm saying that is because there is, okay. And it's strong. So if two people are finished and they have to deal with each other, that's not really residual energy. It's co-parenting. But if romantically there's this like bitter, like you left me and like now I got to deal with you and somebody else, and there's still invested feelings there that are like resentment because it comes from jealousy, that shows up in a love reading. Especially if the person is still physically desiring you, then it's even stronger. So now that we got that out of the way, let me check on something a minute. It's almost like he's wanting you to fail with the new connection. So that's something you have to be, okay. Okay. Oh, I remember you. You're the one that wanted the magic, and I said you weren't eligible because, oh, I remember why. Yes. I don't remember every detail, but yeah. Okay. I remember why that was, and I remember that situation. Okay. I mean, well, you never explained anything too much, but from what I had to gather from, the evaluating on the magic. Okay. Okay, I see. All right. Okay. Um, so let's talk about the situation with him, the ex-husband, okay? Or I don't know what you want to call him, former husband or soon to be former, whatever it is. This person feels very vindictive. They're holding on to a crazy amount of emotions. Like they were done wrong. Like you betrayed them. I don't want to make the reading about him, but it's very strong here. All right. So much so that this person, the level at which they feel is so much that you should clean yourself spiritually because it's so bad. The wishing and the negative, sometimes when a person, is cursed, people think it's just a hex, like somebody that went and did like magical things against them. But sometimes people can have such a strong amount of power in their concentration of thought when they wish for it and wish for it and wish for it, that the person can feel that negative energy. The person can have nightmares. Things can break. Jewelry can break. You can lose jewelry. You can, there's a lot of negativity coming from that person towards you. All right. Okay. Now we're going to focus on Angel. It seems like before Angel, there was someone. It seems like before Angel, there was someone that it didn't work out with. And maybe, I don't know if your ex knew about it. I wonder why your ex knows about your life so much. Do you tell him? Well, you don't have to answer that. I'm just thinking out loud, okay? I don't like people to give me information unless they feel comfortable. I don't like to lead the reading. I like to but I do share my inner thoughts. I'll be like, well, I wonder what, Okay, let me continue. Now, so far this guy is, looks like he wants to use you just for physical companionship. In other words, he just wants to sleep with you. I know that sounds so, you probably don't believe it because women, when the guy's really charming and nice, he certainly doesn't want to put a ring on it and put you in a nice house. That's not his intention. Sometimes in the beginning of a reading, of a relationship, sometimes you got to give the guy a chance because they get scared and they're intimidated. And especially if a woman has a complicated history and, you know, it's not that like, you know, a lot of times a guy just wants to see where it goes and you got to be open-minded. But in this particular case, I can already tell that the reasoning behind it is because he's just physically wants a situationship. Or no, I should say, excuse me, a situationship is when the woman doesn't really know if he's going to commit and she's hoping. A friend with benefit is when already they're never leaving that category. So he wants a friend with benefit. He's not into the commitment and he's not into doing all the things. So it's more that way. But let me give you some more information. There's still 2 other connections that didn't make it before Angel. I don't know how much you've dated, but I would say, well, let me put it this way. Angel had 2 people that he dated or tried that he was involved at one point with, and then he had a period of time where he just kind of gave up. So he might give the impression that he's like the boyfriend that's looking, or like somebody who's very husbandy or commitment type. He might give off that vibe, but it's not. And he went through something where it's very difficult for a man that doesn't want commitment to find a woman that he likes that is willing to not have a commitment either, where they can be involved softly, meaning see each other and not really worry about titles too much. So it seems to me like he's that type, but I'm going to look deeper into his intention. Give me a moment, okay? Okay, so in this particular case, one of the best, it doesn't matter because I'll switch it for you. It's the same price, but I'm just letting you know, the best reading for you is a mind read. But that's okay. Because think about it. You want me to read on a relationship that's not anchored. There's no relationship here. Because when there's a relationship, a man is helping a woman out. He's interested in her. He's in love with her. He's helping out the mom, helping out the family. He's being a boyfriend. He's being caring. He's growing together with her. They're sharing stuff. And it's getting cozy, right? It's romantic and cozy. And there's a relationship that's brewing. And it's going to go hopefully to the next level. In this particular case, it's too weak for that. Maybe it's early, but it doesn't seem too early though. There should be more than what there is. And in this particular case, I'd rather just dive into what he thinks. So this is a mind read. This is not on the relationship, it's on him. So that I'm going to switch it to the mind read, okay? Okay. Okay, so let's start off here. So this reading begins with the fact that either he is either the you said angel or something, right? Alec. I was gonna say Alec, angel. Doesn't matter. Either he is different than your background, but if he speaks the same language and he's from the same culture similarly to you, then this would refer to someone else that he was involved with that was not from the same background. So for example, let's say that both of you are from whatever country, just as an example. Either his former romantic person he was dating, because I wouldn't call it a girlfriend, but whoever he was involved with, either that person was foreign to him culturally, or he's different than you culturally. Okay, and you are from a different place, or are you also from Honduras? You don't have to tell me where you're from if you don't want to. I'm just saying it's either going to be one or the other in this reading that it's opening up. I don't know him, so. Okay, so that's significantly different. Yeah, that's totally different cultures. Okay, I mean, there's a language sort of the same, but the lingo and the customs and it's very different. Yeah. Okay, so that would be you and him. Okay, that's fine. So that's the way the reading opens up, and the reading that it opens up is because the reason that it opens up this way is because it's kind of like to flag the big difference between both of you. Since I don't know both of you, I've heard of you a couple of times through the streams, but very minimally. You're not one of my regulars, so I don't really know you. It's just for me to understand the difference here, the biggest cultural difference. Okay, let's go on to the next part. And one of the most important things with this guy is that he is a pretty boy. What do I mean by that? The way that he comes off seems like well-mannered. You know, when you really, really look at it, he might be seen, at least if you ask very Americanized people, if they kind of judge him, they might say, wow, he's really like not, he doesn't act like a romantic guy should act. He's very, yeah, that's what I'm it's hard to explain it because I don't want to say the wrong thing, but like in the North American culture, guys would be like, dude, what's his deal? He's, what does he think he is? You know, like a pretty boy? Like, you know, he's too, I don't know, high maintenance. Like, you know, it's like women should kind of be, yeah. Like, maybe in his culture it's cool, but in this one, he's the type of guy. Let me say it in a different way. He's the type of guy that he's willing to be romantic if he has to be with a woman, but he likes to be bought stuff too. Like he'll say, are you going to pay for that? Or like, yeah, you want to split it? He's not the old-fashioned type where he's going to open up the wallet and say, no, that's not how you treat a woman. Yeah. So it's not, when you get to know, I don't know how well you know him, but when you get to really, really know him, there's behaviors that he has that's kind of like, it's okay if a woman acts that way, but not a guy. So like, in other words, he's not, there could be a time where he just doesn't treat you in the way that maybe your ex did. So maybe your ex, no matter how ugly he is as far as his personality or his problems, there was a romantic pursuing you kind of way in the beginning. Like there was this romantic way of being with you. And this guy, it's like hot and cold. Like you cannot picture it. Like you cannot, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird getting used to. There's a lot of things that about him that paint a picture like he's the right guy. Yeah. So he is very charming. There's a lot of charm to him. He could be very sweet and very romantic with his words. The thing is that you might have an issue because the way that you say things, he might criticize. So you might say something just being yourself, and he might be like, oh my God. So there's a critical way that, I don't know if he's shown you that side, but he's very nitpicky about some of your personality traits. So for example, if you're an Aries or a Sagittarius or something like that, he might be like, oh my God, that's how rude. Like, you say that? Like, wow, like you're the problem, like you're the rude one, like you're uncouth, right? That's not a big deal. I'm just showing that there's the way he sees you is a little bit kind of like a savage woman. I mean, I don't know if that, obviously you're pretty and he's very drawn to you. But there could be, okay, there you go. They are just very direct with their words, and people go, oh, she said that? How could you say that? Oh my God. When it comes to the future of what's going to happen to you guys, it talks about a lot of confusion, because he's very sweet and nice, and he's smart, and he's very interesting. But you hunger a type of guy that's going to give you what you've been wanting, the stability and what you like. You like what you like. And you're confused because the thing that's confusing about this guy is that there's a lot that he can offer, but there's a lot he's not offering, and there's a lot that he won't offer. And you want straight up, you want to know, is this bullshit or is it not? And he can't really give you that. And because of that, you're going to live through kind of being in limbo, kind of like, is he lying? Like, is there something about him that I don't get? Why can't he just be upfront? And then there could be something where he doesn't want to be honest about something. Maybe he's shy. So there's an awkwardness there. It's not that he's a liar. It's not that he's full of secrets. It's that there's something, you're drawn to each other, definitely, but there's something with him that makes you suspicious. And he's not sure about you either. And because of this situation, he doesn't want to go deeper yet. So it's not like he's just looking to use you because he's evil, It's not like he's, oh, let me turn this off. I'm sorry. It's not like he's looking to use you because he's an evil guy or anything. That's not what I mean. It's just that he's seeing traits in you, and he's seeing things in you, and some of it has him worried, stressed. It's because there's not enough communication. There's not enough communication, and there's not enough trust. And there's something about him that rubs you the wrong way, and there's something about you that rubs him the wrong way. And you don't want to say it because it's like you don't know what to say. It's just like, why don't I like him? Like, why do I like him but don't like him? Like, I can't put my finger on it. It's because you're picking up on, his subtleness, but at the same time, you're also seeing that he's not acting in a way that lets you know he's really serious about you. And he's not yet. Now, the next thing that I want to say is if there's, it seems to me that I don't know if he's involved in the medical field. This you could answer it if you want, because I'm already telling you. There's got to be something about him. So he either has okay, I'll say it like this. He is either involved in the medical field in somehow as a profession, or he's got a medical condition, like maybe it's an allergy, or maybe there's something specific about him that you're aware of. Maybe he told you a long time ago that, I don't know, maybe he has to have a certain diet because he's allergic, or there's something that's medical, medicinal, the body, there's something that's there. Are you aware of anything medical about him? Whether it's a condition or medicine he's on, or a surgery he had, or maybe it's training that he does, or maybe he was involved in that. He could have been a medic in the military. He could have been, maybe he's a diet. Okay, a lot of times, okay. So that's fine. So that's, it is true. It's not a lie. The diet thing, yeah, I think it's worse than what he has told you, because it is embarrassing. That's why I was trying to tell you with the medical part. It's not too bad, but it can ruin like an outing. If you go to a really beautiful restaurant and then he has like Crohn's or something like that, or irritable bowel syndrome or Crohn's or something very, very debilitating, that he's got to be very careful. What you're not aware of is let me clear up something a minute. There's something about him you're not aware of, and I think it's very cool. He's got a very important gift or talent that you're not aware of. He could be a very skilled musician. Maybe there's something that maybe he's a published author. There's something in his country or something in his roots or background that when you learn more about him, you'll be like, wow, there's something that he has that's like a gift or a talent that's very important. It makes him very interesting. So maybe maybe he's an artist, or maybe there's something unique. There's something, maybe he's really skilled at whatever. It could be. There's something pretty cool about him that he kind of keeps low key. He keeps it on the down low, but it's important. Like, it's really, really important. Okay. When it comes to hiding something from you, I'm not sure if he's aware that you get readings. So I'm not, did you tell him you get psychic readings, or did you talk about spiritual psychic stuff? There's a reason why I'm asking that. If the answer is no or yes, it doesn't matter. It's just, let me know if you told him you either read astrology. Okay. Okay. So something that you don't know about him is that he gets readings a lot. So he either has a consultant, a spiritual consultant, or maybe he has a palmist that he goes to. I'm a palmist, and I know that in a lot of countries that are South American or Latin American, palmistry is huge. Excuse me, I have hiccups. There is I don't know, maybe his mother is into it. Maybe it's a friend of the family. Maybe it's a grandmother. But you see, that somewhere in here, there's compensation. So he's a person that consults spiritually somebody. And it's not just him. I think it's someone that, like, it's in the family or something like that. I'm not saying it's a blood relative of his. I'm saying that his blood relatives go to the same person. So he gets a lot of psychic readings. I don't think he's getting any on you. It would show up if he was getting them on you. I believe it's just for his career. I believe that it's just something. So it's not something I want you to worry about, but I check for all kinds of things, and yeah, that's something that I think culturally is normal for them. All right, here's the thing. I can tell you guys are going to be going to some event together. I don't know what it is, but it can be a party or a concert, or maybe it's like something with sports. I don't know. But there's something that you guys are going to be going to. Maybe you just went to something together. But after this situation, there's going to be someone who gives you male advice. So I don't know if it's a father or an uncle or a brother, or maybe it's a best friend's husband. I don't know, but this is a guy that gives you guy advice. Okay? And you should not ignore the advice. And it's going to be advice on the guy you're asking about, the Honduran guy. All right? It's going to be that type of advice. And what you should do with it is not dismiss it or say something like, no, you don't know him, or no, it's not like that. This talks about thinking about it. Think about what you were told, even if your instinct is, no, I don't want to hear it. The reading is saying that you're going to just be like, all right, whatever, I'm busy. The reading is saying, tell her not to. Tell her just be like, stop. Think about something for a minute. There's something important that this person is going to tell you. And I don't know who it is. So like I said, it's going to be a male that just out of nowhere, is going to just say something and comment that really is advice. When people think they're going to get advice, sometimes they think they're going to be this long talk that someone sits down and says, let me tell you my advice. No, sometimes it's just somebody saying a comment to help you out, to just say, hey, what about this? To think about it, because there's a clue in there. Now, when I rush the reading to kind of give you like the overall ending, like, because you got to realize I got to sum up kind of like the flow of this relationship, and I try to do it in 20 minutes or as much as I can, as fast as I can. So you got to realize you're going to be living through a lot of things with him first, because you have to go through a phase where you're going to be more confused in the future. You're confused now. That means you're going to get a little more confused in the future. So that means that you're not going to get your solution right away with this guy. You're going to keep seeing him. You're going to, you're going to have all kinds of feelings. You're going to have experiences. Obviously, you're going to try to learn more about him. There's going to be something that you go to together. You have to live through a little phase of this. Now, if I rush the ending to see, okay, what is the big picture? Like, where is this going to end for her? The relationship does end. I can see it already. That doesn't mean, bam, it ends tomorrow. No, you're going to live through some phases. It'll naturally fade when it's supposed to. You can always change things. You can always try to have it not end. You can also try to have it end now. It's up to you. But if you naturally let things, unfold without you taking initiative, I'm just saying I do see it end. It doesn't have to end badly. It could just fade out because you guys kind of clash. He's not wealthy, so I checked. There's probably some assets and some stability there, which is fine. But he's not wealthy. He's just average with, I think, a couple of nice factors in his life, but, you know, nothing too big. And as far as his intention with you, it's because he's attracted to you and he likes you. But he knows deep inside already that he doesn't want anything permanent. Hopefully this can change. I don't really see it changing. Let me check on a couple of things. He's scared of his future. You got to live your life. You know, you got to see it unfold. You got to see it unfold. Let me check on a couple of things. Okay. So the timing for this, you know, I'll be honest, I don't really give time frames with this kind of reading. I do with larger ones. There's not enough here to do a time. But if I were to give you like an idea, if you needed an idea, I can give you a ballpark idea, but I'm not laying out a specific timeline. Like when I do court cases or something where it's right to the day. I'm not doing that with this. Give me a second here. Yeah, it's impossible to give you a very close timeline because there's still some things you're going to have to live through emotionally as this flows. When I say you have to live through this emotionally, what I mean is destiny has a timing naturally. Like if you plant a rose bush, for it to blossom, you can't hit a button and say blossom right now. It's natural, right? So is life. But when you do things with magic, you kind of speed it up or slow it down. And when you do things with your initiative, like when a person gets pissed off and says, I want this now, then you change it. You know, that's different. But when you let things flow naturally without you having a plan, you know, like, nah, I don't like him, I'm just gonna date the next guy. Okay, well, that's you taking initiative. But if you're not doing that, the flow of the story is a little complicated. It can take 6 months, 8 months. It can take 4 months. It gets complicated because you're not super open right now to doing a lot with your love life. You're overwhelmed at this time right now. And he's not that good at meeting new people anyway. So yeah, you're going to move on and he's going to move on, but it's not like you are on this like super pumped up, like, you know, you got stuff to do, you have kids, you're different now. It's not like you're 18, you know, waiting to date, because then it's like you'd meet like 50 people in a week and it's fine, because 18-year-olds, it's like, oh my God, you know, or 21. It's different now. So the level of people you're going to meet, yeah, it increases, but it's a little harder for you. You know, you're kind of going with the flow of life, and he is too, you know. So that's why I'm saying I don't see that this is going to get like super complicated. Okay, that's why I'm saying, like, you know, you're still young and you still have a lot going for you, but you're not sitting there dedicating your entire life to dating, like if you were 21 with nothing to do. That's what I meant. But you know, you're still young, and there's still a lot you can do. You still got good game, but you know, you got a lot of stuff to do too. So that's why I'm saying. And this can go a little bit longer. So here's the negative part of the reading, that if you know, let me say this in Sagittarius language. If something sucks and it's not going to take off, why not end it now? That's Sagittarius language. Like, come on, shit or get off the pot. Like, is this going to happen or not? So it's not. So you would think, well, then why is this going to be prolonged? Well, because naturally you still both enjoy each other's company, and there's still something to it. Sometimes people have, I mean, the positive of this is that it's fun. It's fun that you have someone to go out with right now, and it's fun and exciting, and he does find you pretty, and he makes you feel pretty sometimes. It's just that he doesn't fit the guy type you're looking for like a glove. And that's the problem. And he likes you, and you're fun, and you're funny as hell, and he's drawn to you, but you don't fit like a glove. You don't fit like he goes, that's the one. And you're like, oh my God, that's him. It's not there. So that's kind of why it doesn't work, and it ends. And he also drives you crazy. Yeah. He also drives you a little bit crazy, but here's the thing. He's the one that can ghost you. He's the one that can leave and pull the plug on things. So here's what you need to do. My job is to look out for the client. You're my client, not him. So if you can take this situation and say to yourself, okay, this is warming you up because you are going to meet someone and you're going to be focused. He's not the one, but he's something that for now it's fun. And you don't get too attached, and you stay realistic with things, you're not going to get hurt. Because you're going to like baby step backwards and kind of put that boundary. If you jump into this really giving it a chance and kind of doubting it on the inside, but giving it a chance, you're going to be met with a surprise, because at some point he feels bad. Yeah, because he feels bad, and he's not going to say, oh, go away. No, he's going to have fun, but he's also going to be like, okay, I don't want to keep doing this. It's not really working, and I just can't, and I don't want to keep stringing her along. So that's why I'm saying he's not a bad guy. I don't want to paint him out to be a bad guy. It's just that he doesn't feel you're it. But at the same time, he's trying to figure that out. I'm the psychic seeing this stuff faster. He doesn't know that yet. So I'm not hating on the guy. He's just trying to live his life just like you are. It just so happens that I see where it gets stronger in that feeling and things end. That doesn't mean that he's sitting there going, oh, I'm going to use her and I'm going to leave. That's not what he's thinking. He doesn't really know. He's just living his life. So don't take what I'm saying against the poor guy. It's just that he ain't it. You know what I mean? So another thing, this takes a curve, this reading, okay? It brings up your ex. Either you're going to, when, very soon around the time that either it doesn't work out with the Honduran, or, and FYI, and whoever's listening, if they're Honduran, your culture is gorgeous, and I mean nothing wrong with that, with what I'm going to say, but I'm very honest. I've seen a pattern with Honduran males where they can go very silent. I know usually I'm an astrologer, And I usually, like, because I'm an astrologer, I say a lot of zodiacal predictions, like, okay, Tauruses are like this, Leo's like this. But in this case, culturally, I've seen, because I deal with love a lot, like I'm a love consultant with psychic stuff. So I've seen that Honduran males a lot of times will be very, very silent, and not tell some. I think it's culturally how they are, like at least modern culture. So like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s kind of age range is how they act. They're very reserved. So they won't necessarily put you in, they're kind of like Libra-ish. Male Libras do that. So that's funny. But in their culture, they're like that. So that's why I'm saying you may not be included where there's other, like for example, Mexican males, which a lot of my clients date Mexican men, they're more open. They'll be like very direct. This is what I want. This is what I expect. Like there's no guesswork right there, And when they're being sneaky and something, it's obvious because they're usually very, very direct. It should be like this. It should be like this. This is what I want. Honduran, a little bit reserved. So I don't want you to get stressed out and feel terrible when this casts you as a surprise, because I'm already seeing that he just talks to you less and less and less, and then it ends. All right. Now, let me tell you something that's going to happen after or around this time frame. You're either going to, the X pops up. You're either going to visit him with your kids for something that's, maybe he has parental visiting rights. I don't know the deal. It seems like the one that's in jail. It's like the one that's in jail. So you're either going to visit him with the kids, or he's gonna be let out and then visit you. One of those. So if you're planning some kind of visit with the kids so the kids can see him, I don't know, because you're saying that you have one son and he has a dad. Let's get this straight. Let me explain. Okay, this is one of the reasons why I tell people, don't tell me anything. Hang on. Let me clear it up, because let me tell you the psychic story, and then you can understand it in your real life story. But I can't read your real life story and try to fit the psychic part, because I'm going to go, what's going on with her life now? Because I'm not thinking about it. Spirit's telling me. So I don't have to sit there going, what? So give me a minute. Let me read your comment, which is like a real life comment. You said your ex-husband or your son's dad. Okay, so your son's dad, so you have a son and he has a dad, and that dad is somewhere that lives away from you. And then you have an ex-boyfriend or something that's in jail, right? Or maybe the ex-husband is the one in jail, or the one in jail is the one that you were with when you were married. There's something to that. Okay, so so forget the real life part, because it's confusing me. Let me tell you psychically what Spirit's saying, okay? And then you can apply it to your life. The end of the reading says that either a visit is going to occur to a man that is incarcerated, or the incarcerated man is going to visit you. So do you have plans of visiting the jail guy? Or is the jail guy getting out and is going to visit you? That is showing up in the reading. Which one is happening? Okay, so you would know if he's getting out, right? Okay, another possibility. Okay. Another possibility, because you got to think to yourself, this whole reading I have here is on Angel, or the Honduran, or whatever his name is, Alec or something, right? It's not anything to do with anybody else, but a significant situation is showing up extra. So I don't know a lot about it, but all I can tell you is either the jail guy is getting moved to another facility, That is also possible. And you may get an awareness, angel, okay, sorry. And you may get some kind of literature updating you on his being moved. Why would that show up? Because it's anchoring and flagging a time frame. You asked about timing. So there's a couple of flags when it comes to timing. I told you that you were going to get advice from a man that you had to, that cares about you, that you, or maybe it's married to a friend or something, and it was directly T-crossed with the time that you end an event with angel. Like you go somewhere and then it's at the aftermath, like the after party, like after it takes place. So if you go to a movie, it's going to be after you guys are already eating and you saw the movie. If it's a concert, it's when you guys are driving home from the concert, or like when you get back from the concert that day. If it's going to be someplace you travel to, it's going to be right when you get back home and you put your bags down within a few hours. There's something, maybe the next day, there's something flagging that time frame of you getting advice. And then the ending happens. And then when the ending of the relationship occurs, there's something that's directly correlated in timing. It's T-crossed with you getting either an alert that the inmate has moved, or that he's getting out, or that you, for some reason, end up visiting him. Something important, and the reason that it comes up is because it's T-crossed with timing to let you know that this is on a timeline. That's pretty much it on the reading. I think if we had more time, I'd get into like a lot of other things. Obviously your life has a lot of complicated stuff. Maybe to you it's simple, but there's a lot here. But I think that, it was to answer the question, what are his intentions? And, we talked about it. I don't find him to be a bad person, but I just don't see it lasting. Yeah. All right. Okay. Is there anything else you need clarified from what I said? Anything that's, related to the reading? Yeah, I could tell because, it's almost like you're looking for love, real love, because you don't want to be alone the rest of your life. You don't want to sit there, there's one that has a lot of resentment and one that manifests negatively. The one that just doesn't want you to work out with anybody. So the one that is really strongly manifesting things, that's what I'm saying. A cleanse is important. One has a really good idea about your life and the other one doesn't. So the one that's doing time doesn't, but the one that, by just interacting with you in little bits and bobs, he can gather things. But I wouldn't use the word hate. I would use the word bitter. Because they, neither of them really wanted to end with you. Neither of them wanted to end with you, but life is complicated. Right. Resentment is negative. Although good-hearted people can resent, and they're not bad for that. But the collection of heavy thoughts on you, I'm telling you, you're a great candidate to have a spiritual cleansing, like a good one. Because naturally you're pretty lucky. I don't know if you consider yourself lucky. You are. In your own way, you are. Just because some things haven't turned out the way you want to. Doesn't mean naturally things have fallen on your lap easily, and there's a lot of blessings that you got to count. You can't just focus on what you don't have, you know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, sweetheart. Thank you so much for getting a reading from me. Let me see something. Yeah, I think, yeah, did we close already? Did I close the reading? Yeah, I did close the reading. Okay. All right, sweetheart. Thank you so much. So one of the best things you could do is, you in particular, is, are you religious? Are you like Christian, Catholic, Jewish, Muslim? Are you religious in your family? Are you spiritual with your faith? You're Christian? Okay. There's a beautiful amount of cleanses that are possible in your local church. When was the last time you went to Mass? Do you go to Mass often, or? That would be really cleansing for you. I ask because since the Christmas season, a lot of people went to Christmas Mass. You should go to a Mass. That's a beautiful cleanse for you. I'm not trying to push you to do anything. You know, I'm a magical practitioner, and I have my own spiritual faith. But when I do readings, I kind of see like what aligns with each person, and going to Mass would be great for you, especially since you're Christian. You might feel really refreshed after you go. You should. That's a beautiful cleanse. Light your candles, and you know, sometimes they have like a little area there in the church where you yeah, that's amazing for you. You know, you can feel it. You know, you can feel it, to be in a place where everybody's like praying and stuff. It's very, very wholesome. Yeah. All right, sweetheart. Thank you for getting a reading from me. I appreciate it. And good things to you, and have a wonderful new year. All right. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. I see there's a couple of people signed in. Thank you so much for watching the live. I appreciate it. If anybody has a question before I sign off, let me know. Thank you, Natalie. I appreciate it, sweetheart. Oh, and also if you also feel like if there's something at the church, at the gift shop, like a lot of times they'll sell like a little bit of holy water or stuff like that. If you're drawn to something like that, maybe some roses, you could put roses in water. You know, that's very healthy, very, very healthy. Okay, for the new year especially. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye, guys. Love and light.